The printing press is one of the most crucial inventions of our civilization. It allows us to document large amounts of information, share it across our communities, and enlighten people with knowledge they weren't able to access before. The printing press is an innovation that stands among life-saving cures and machines. It has changed our society for the better, fostering revolutionary events in our history, such as the Protestant Reformation, the Renaissance, and even the Industrial Revolution. But how can a single innovation make such an impact on the world? Let's start from the beginning. What was before the invention of the printing press? Well, really hard times. Human civilization has already been documenting important historical events and discoveries. Hence, we know quite a lot about our history. However, documenting so many events was quite challenging. Here's why. All writing and drawing, and we mean all, had to be done solely by hand. Only the most dedicated humans would do that and succeed. Those people were scribes, who often resided in monasteries and churches. Given all the materials they needed to transcribe books, such as parchment, and their quiet rooms, called scriptorium, scribes would spend days and nights transcribing the books by hand. Here's how it went. Scribes would always start by measuring and tracking the page layouts. After that, they would carefully copy the text from another book and print it onto the new piece. The work required meticulous attention to detail, focus, and of course, patience. Because can you imagine making even a single mistake after finishing transcribing the whole book? That would irritate many people. Given how much time, sweat, and tears it took for a scribe to finish their job, books by any means were not cheap. Only those wealthy enough could afford to own a book, mostly of religious nature, like the Holy Bible. Books were also stored in monasteries and educational institutes. But in the mid-15th century, people found a better way to print books, which was also way faster. They came up with a method, I can only describe it, using letters or pictures cut out of wooden blocks, which were then dipped in ink and stamped onto the paper. In reality, those blocks also had whole lines of paragraph and text. This way of printing originated from China in the 7th century. Woodblock printing would be used to print books on agriculture, medicine, and calendars. Slowly but surely, the technology spread across Asia and then reached Europe. It quickly became a reliable, go-to method in producing texts and images, especially in playing cards and religious materials. Those blocks would also inspire the German goldsmith, who would create the device that revolutionized printing forever, Johann Gutenberg. Gutenberg recognized the potential of using letter blocks dipped in ink and thought of ways to automate the process. In 1440, he created a mechanism, the first innovative press, with an entire system of casting, efficient inking, and precise printing. This is how it worked. The process would begin with creating individual metal type pieces representing a letter, punctuation mark, or space. Composers manually arranged these metal types to form lines of text on a composing stick. Once the page was composed, it was transferred to a larger frame called a form. The ink was then applied to the surfaces of the metal type using ink rollers. A sheet of paper was then carefully placed on top of the inked type on the form, which was placed on the flatbed, and the paper was pressed to the ink type, transferring the ink to the paper. Gutenberg did not work alone though. Johannes Faust and Peter Schoeffer both played a significant role in financing the project. Technical development of the press and printing their first major project, the Gutenberg Bible, the Latin version of the Hebrew Old Testament and the Greek New Testament. To sell the innovation, the printing machine got the name Gutenberg's press. 1450 was the year when Gutenberg and his team finished the mechanism and released it to the market, changing the world forever. His groundbreaking device made book production easier and most of all faster. Books could be mass-produced, sold for cheaper prices, and spread around the world. Ancient knowledge, revolutionary ideas, and educational books became easily accessible to every literate European. Scientists could document, store, and share their discoveries, fostering collaboration and the development of technologies. Gutenberg's invention also played a pivotal role in fostering the Protestant Reformation, with Martin Luther being able to preach his questioning of the Catholic Church to a wider audience, with his ideas printed on books. Unfortunately, Gutenberg didn't live long enough to see the full impact of his invention, but his press made a huge leap in progress. From that point on, the printing press has seen multiple upgrades. It became faster, more efficient, and cheaper. Technology spread around the world, and people finally got their hands on knowledge they could only dream of. Printing spurred literacy, boosting education and life quality for many, though book ownership remained uneven. This revolution, unfolding over centuries, was just the first page in humanity's journey towards a more informed world. The Industrial Revolution became yet another milestone for printing technology. Two German investors, Friedrich Koenig and Andreas Bauer, developed their first steam-powered printing press in 1811. The system used a steam engine to power a cylinder that carried the printing surface, enabling continuous printing without manual work. It would take mere months for the press to become a game changer. Newspapers could be produced faster and in larger quantities without the need for workers who, before the steam engine, did all the work themselves. The press could make 1,000 pages in an hour. Other than that, books became even cheaper and sold across the country, contributing to the rise of popular literature and literacy rates. Then, in the 20th century, the printing press was electrified and improved, with offset printing technology successfully replacing steam as fuel. In the latter half of the 20th century and even into the present day, the printing press transformed even further with the integration of computers, digital printing, and even 3D printing. The printing press slowly continues to be upgraded, but it's safe to say that it has done us a huge favor in improving our societies. However, with the rise of the internet, most people stopped relying on newspapers and magazines to get their information. But that doesn't move the printing press from relevancy, even for a bit. For as long as life on Earth exists, the printing press will always be required.
Remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to stay updated with our latest content. And while you're here, why not check out another one of our exciting videos? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.